Alright, hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the East Championship thing, whatever it is that they do in Japan at the moment. OP-11, they got, championship stuff, and we actually had a Belo Betty in top 8 in this tournament. I think they finished top 4 actually, but I'm not sure. But we have a live stream from a couple days ago where Belo Betty was playing as a green purple Luffy, and I figured as the Belo Betty guy, I should look over this game and just see, did this player play optimally? Why is his list looking the way it does? And what's actually going on? So first things first, we're going to jump into checking out his deck list, and then we're going to watch the game, and I'll give you all the pointers and stuff along the way, see just what's going on. So this right here is the deck list that he was running with. It's nothing too extraordinary, right? But there are a couple of things here that I would say are very interesting, right? But if we start from the top left here, we got 4 copies of Stage, which I think is fine. I used to run 4 copies of Stage back in the day. I've cut it down since, but 4 copies is perfectly normal. We got 4 copies of Belo Betty, makes sense. 4 copies of 2-cost Koala here, all pretty standard. And then we have 4 copies of Zeus here, which I do not agree with. I have a video coming up in a couple of days where I try this card out, and spoiler alert, I don't like it. I don't think it's a good card. I don't see which matchups this is good in, but whatever floats your boat, I guess. But yeah, this card is here, which is like the main outlier of the deck. Other than that, we have two cost Kuma, which I think is a little bit too little, but whatever floats your boat, dude. 4 Rush Inasumas makes sense. 4 Blocker Karasu is fine. 4 Lindbergh's fine. 4 Kuma here is also fine. And then we have 4 cost Ivankov, makes sense. Karasu makes sense. 2 of the promo Sabo, which also makes sense. 3 5 cost Ivankov, and 3 Koalas. So yeah, the main outlier here is the 4 Zeus, right? But then in combination with that, look at how many 2Ks bro is playing here. Okay, we have 4 2K Koalas. We have 4 Zeus. That's 8 2Ks. We're looking at 4 more Kumas here. That's 12 2Ks, which is now the standard for like any deck, which is already too much for Belo Betty, but it's the standard for any deck. Then he has 2 Sabos as well. So he's running literally 14 2Ks. Unless this is a Sabo that's not, like, this is not the Sabo, the promo Sabo. If this is like the starter deck Sabo, which I doubt, because he's running Zeus, so why would he run this? He's running 14 2Ks, which is something very interesting, and we'll see in the game if how that turns out and if it's actually relevant. But I would not recommend doing this. But we'll jump into the actual game and we'll see just how this deck can perform. All right, so we're gonna run this at 2x because well, Japanese players tend to be slow, especially in tournaments like this. But first things first, we're looking at Green Purple's hand here. And off the bat, this is awful for Green Purple, right? We have not a single countering hand. Giant's obviously going to be good for later. Luffy Taro is completely irrelevant in this matchup. Luna, also a little bit too early to see that. And this is obviously good, but again, a little bit too early. You want to see other cards. This is like a late game card, right? This is the finisher. You don't want this already. And the stage is, which is like only thing that could get him out of this, because he can draw cards from it, right? But off the bat, just a terrible start for the green-purple Luffy. And this is not what you want to see against Belo Betty, which is the more difficult matchup in the meta, right? Also, if you want to see this stream, the live stream will be linked in the description, so you can see it for yourself. There are other games here as well. We're just going over the Belo Betty game today, as that is what I do, right? And now we get to see Belo Betty's hand here. This is not the best hand ever, right? We do have a turn 1 play, because Belo Betty is going second, I believe. So we have a turn 1 play in Kuma, which can pop any searchers or anything that they play, right? But we don't have an Ivankov, right? We don't have an Ivankov for turn 2. We don't have a 5-cost or a 6-cost Koala for turn 3. We're really not looking too juicy. We're looking very slow. So I don't know if he mulliganed into this, or if this was his first hand, but I would probably mulligan this, which you'd think is greedy, but considering he plays 4 stages and 4 Belo Betty, I don't think it is greedy to take a mulligan in a hand like that. But we're going to play like that. And yes, as I expected, Belo Betty is going second. Green Purple Luffy is going to start off with the stage and draw into a Frankie. And of course, the Belo Betty is going to play the Kuma, like I said. He drew into another Kuma, so he's actually found both of his copies of Kuma. And yeah, nothing crazy going on here. He swings 5k at Betty, he takes it. He finds the 5 cops Ivankov. So now he is set up for the third turn, but his second turn is still looking pretty weak. The Luffy is going to drop down this Frankie with no effect, but just to have a body out, which is obviously recommended. But he does top deck into the 4-cost Ivankov here. So now he's able to be a lot more explosive and go on the aggression here, which is going to be really bad for the green-purple because he doesn't have any counter, right? So he's going to be taking both of these swings most likely. So he plays the 4-cost Ivankov, and he's going to boost. And as you can see, he's thinking of throwing the 5-cost Ivankov here, which, if I'm being honest, I do not agree with. This is your turn 3 play, right? Like, your turn 3 otherwise is like going to be a combination of Lindbergh or like Kuma, and that's just not optimal at all. You'd much rather play this, get 2 bigger bodies out, you know, and just not go -2 in hand. But he's thinking of pitching the 5-cost here. So he starts by swinging 5, which makes sense. He takes because he doesn't have any counter, and he draws into another counterless card here. So he's still completely bricked. But he does end up pitching the 5-cost Ivankov, which is such an insane play. Then he decides to go for the Lindbergh instead of the Karasu, which I don't disagree with. I think that's a fine play, especially because he has the Koala in hand. You can't see his hand right now because my face is in the way, but he does have the 2k Koala in hand, so he could reduce anything that they play here, as long as they don't play Sanji Pudding, in which case you could still do it in combination with the Karasu, pop that Sanji Pudding. But it's going to be a Sorojuro here, and he's going to do a search, and he's going to grab a 2k, which makes sense because he is bricked the fuck up. He does also draw into another stage. I'm assuming he's going to play that as well, just to find even more counter here. But he is doing some mental math here. Looking really bad for the green-purple player here. He's going to use leader effect and swing 6k into life, it seems. Because otherwise, you just give up that Kuma, right? And the Belo Betty takes it good. Okay, yeah. And he triggers a Kuma. That is incredible. But yeah, I would definitely... He considered defending it. I don't see why you would defend at that point. You're still not threatened next turn. So you're big chilling just taking that hit. And he ends up triggering the Kuma. So he's looking in a great spot right now. I think the obvious choice here, yeah, is to go Frankie into the Kuma. And he's going to get that. No reason to defend that. You have enough bodies to boost anyways. But, I mean, could have been a decision, since he could probably tell that green-purple is fairly bricked. It could have been a call to keep that, but I don't think it's necessary. And from here, right, like, I would have played the 5-cost Ivankov, right? And we wouldn't have seen what that hit. If that hits a reducer, you're in a great spot. But, like, even then... Like, that is still better than just whatever he does on this turn, right? Because what his options now are is, like, play down the Koala, you know, cheat out the Karasu. You know, there's a bunch of things that you can do. But the 5-cost Ivankov would have just been the stronger play. And he did draw into stage on his turn here. And he is going to discard that 4-leader effect instead of playing it, which makes sense. I don't think you should be... cheating things out, but he's going to use his Karasu here to bring his opponent's leader down to 5k. Which makes sense, like I said, but I do believe the correct play here is to flat play the Koala to get rid of the Sorojuro, and he is going to do that, so that's very nice. He should also be swinging into the Frankie here, in my professional opinion, but he does swing face, and the opponent ends up taking it. He's moving his cards all around the board. Not sure what's going on here, but he is swinging 8 into the opponent's 5k leader again. And it seems like he's thinking here if he wants to use that giant or not. And he is going to use that giant. But, I mean, at this point, he's down to 2 Dawn. It's just not looking good for the green-purple here. And he draws into a decent amount of counter, actually. There's a Gatling there, and I don't see what the other card is, but I think it's a Chopper. It's a chopper, so that's a 1k at least. But now Ivankov is swinging 8k into his leader as well, and he's gonna Gatling and then Frankie. So not great on his end, and then he's gonna swing 9k here, and here's where I'm like, is that like this is where it's like the play is just not optimal anymore. Like if you had that Ivankov, you would have just been in a better spot where you could use the Dawn to establish board instead of attaching like this. But obviously he does go down to 0 here, and I mean the opponent is only at 4 Dawn. There's really nothing he could do since he doesn't have enough for the Rush Luffy. So like his only play here is to do some sort of Luna play and like hope that he finds counter with the Giant here. I think that's the only out. Like maybe Luna, leader effect, ramp with Frankie, that have a Dawn up for Giant and establish a chopper. Like that might be some route he has here, but at that point he's still, again, not living. Like even if he's living, he's not killing anyone because he's forced to go so much Dawn minus. But he's gonna Luna here, it seems. Which makes sense, right? Luna here, it takes away 3 of his fucking 6 attacks. But at the end of the day, you're really sitting at 0 life. But we'll see here. He doesn't really know what he's doing. It seems like he's going to swing 5 with the Frankie to ramp that one back. Makes sense. He gets a 1k out of his hand. I'm assuming that swing is coming either Lindbergh or Ivankov. Probably Lindbergh, right? Since the chopper is like what he needs to protect. He is going to drop the Luna, stunning everything. He's going to use leader effects to bring 2 back. And you actually don't have enough. Because you attach that Dawn to Frankie, you actually don't have enough to play the chopper and keep 1 up for the Giant. He's instead just going to keep 2 up for the Giant. Which, yeah, if he just hadn't attached there, you'd be in a much better spot. You'd also... Yeah, no, this is not looking great. He's going to... I'm assuming he boosted. I didn't pay attention. But he's going to swing what I believe is 9k here at a 5k leader. He gets a Giant out, and what is going on here? Swinging 9. Yeah, he just doesn't have the counter, right? So the Belo Betty wins. But I mean, yeah, he played fine, I guess. My main problem was that first turn, right, where or the second turn where he discarded the 5-cost Ivankov. I cannot say I agree with that play, but because the green purple Luffy was as bricked as he was, you were able to apply that pressure even without it, and you were able to get through in the end, no matter what. So GG's to both these players. Good games. That is going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and if you'd like to see content like this, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll make sure to make more content like this. Other than that, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.